Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest online event here at the University of California, Merced. My name is Ricky Hill. I am your e-recruiter. I'm so thrilled to be back with you here for another virtual event coming to you live from UC Merced. So tonight we are going to talk about another special topic focused tonight on the honors program. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, or you may have received an invitation about, you are in the right place. So before we get started, let me give you a couple of quick reminders. So if this is your first time using Zoom, if you need to adjust those audio settings, you can do that in the lower left corner of your screen. If at any time you would like to adjust the size of your window, go ahead and click on View Options in the upper portion of your window. And of course, we wouldn't be here if we didn't want to get to your questions live at the end of our presentation. We're fully staffed behind the scenes with all of our content experts tonight, so feel free to take full advantage of the Q&A button that you see on your screen. Go ahead and click there, send in your question. You may get a response behind the scenes, and we may also get to those questions towards the end of our presentation this evening. Now, before we do get started, I would like to go ahead and launch a little poll for everybody. You should see that on your screen now. We would love to hear from you and find out what city you are watching us from tonight. So go ahead and take a moment and answer that question. We love to find out where our future Bobcats are located. And of course, we do appreciate you all taking some special time out of your evening tonight to join us for this honors program presentation. All right, now one last reminder, we are recording this event tonight. So in case you would like to tune into this later on within a day or two, we should be able to have that for you available on our YouTube channel. And it also will be linked on the events page. So make sure you hop back over there. And also that's the same place that you would have registered for this event. So you probably already have that page bookmarked. Also, make sure that you do open your chat window. We will be sending you very important links throughout the presentation as they're getting referenced. And one of those will be the events page. So you want to make sure that you have that open and just go ahead and bookmark some of those pages as you see them come through. Once again, my name is Ricky Hill and I'm your e-recruiter. I'm so thrilled to be here with you tonight. So please go ahead and fasten your seatbelt. We're getting ready to have some fun with the honors program. Before we jump into that, I'd like to invite my friend Alyssa on screen, and she's going to talk a little bit about campus tours and upcoming events. Hi, Alyssa.
Thank you, Ricky. Hi, everyone. Some of you may have recognized me if you're in Northern California. My name is Alyssa Thiaga. I'm one of our admission advisors for the Sacramento region and for Northern California. But we are so excited to have you all here tonight. If you have not visited our campus yet, we definitely do hope that you can come out and visit. We have tours almost every day. Every day that we do have tours up until 5 o'clock. You can definitely what's the word? Scan the QR code and sign up for a tour so that you're able to come and visit our wonderful campus. We do also have some exciting events coming up, some as well in your region as well. We do have our regional receptions, so we have some in San Bernardino, Los Angeles, Visalia, Modesto, and the Bay Area in Santa Clara. So we hope that you can come out and hang out with us and learn all about you being a new student here at UC Merced. Another exciting event that we do have coming up is Bobcat Day. We always encourage all students to come out at Bobcat Day. That way you can see everything of what the whole campus is like, get to see some different clubs and other organizations. So it's a really fun day. So bookmark April 19th. That is our Bobcat Day for this year. And some more exciting experiences. For one is Experience UC Merced. That way you can go and see what it's like being inside of a classroom. Also being able to see our dining hall and get the full UC Merced experience. So we definitely do hope that you can come and check all of our different events out. Now we are going to hand this over to Professor Holly Moyes. She's our faculty director for the University Honors Program. So we'll kick it off over to her.
Hi, thank you, Alyssa. Thank you, Ricky, for the nice introduction. I'm Holly Moyes, and I am in our Anthropology and Heritage Studies department here at UC Merced, and I'm the faculty director of the program. And so I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what you might expect from our program, what our goals are, what we're about, And I have some of my colleagues here who are also on our team. So I'll give them a little bit of an introduction, and then we'll talk to you about also what the requirements are for the program, so you're aware of that, and how to apply. And thank you for coming tonight, everyone. And so one of the things we'll talk about is a few of the things that we're looking for in the applications, which might help you out if you're planning to apply for the program. All right, so let me now introduce my team. Can I have the next slide? Okay, this is Mark Stewart, who is our advisor. Mark, you want to say hi?
Hello, everyone.
Okay, and he's our
Oh, sorry.
academic advisor. There you go.
I'm the academic advisor, and you'll see me throughout the first year, definitely. And then my job is to help you navigate your classes, navigate the university, and also navigate the honors program. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
And this is Sunny Nelson. She is our honors program coordinator, and she knows every single one of our students, and they know her because she is usually the person who you interact with if you have questions or comments and she is probably the most helpful person on our team.
Why, thank you, Holly. Hi, I'm Sunny Nelson. I'm the Honors Program Coordinator. I am so thrilled to meet every one of you. If you are deciding to apply to our honors program, we love to see your application. And if you have any questions, like Holly said, send them over to our email. We'll provide the email for you shortly, but more than happy to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunny. You are also the sunniest ever. Thank you. And this is one of our students is here with us tonight, so that if you have questions about the program that you would like a student's perspective on, she'll be able to do that. We'll do that at the end of the program. But Emily Acosta is here with us. So Emily, could you introduce yourself and tell us a little about you?
Yeah, of course. Thank you for the introduction. Hi, my name is Emily Acosta. I'm a first year here at UC Merced. I'm majoring in political science and emphasis into international relations, and I plan to double major. And another thing that I wanted to say was that I just entered the honors program. This is the first year, so it's been very fun. I was born in LA, but then I moved here to a small town called Delhi, and I can't wait to meet you guys when you guys join us.
Thank you, Emily. Okay, next slide. Let me tell you a little bit about, and I want to introduce you to our honor students. So this is our first cohort. We just started the program this year. So these are our first honors Bobcats. We had 60 people this year, and we plan on admitting 100. So the cohort is going to increase a lot exponentially next year. So we had 310 applications last year, and we only had 60 spots. So this year we have a lot more spots for our honor students, and we're very happy about that. Next slide. So our program is not quite like other honors programs. So for you parents out there, you probably, if you were in college, you would remember that honors programs were usually just reserved for the people with the very highest grades. And while of course we love to see, high achieving students grade wise, one of the things that we really also focus on is, what else do students have to offer other than just high grades? So, high grades are great, but sometimes students have other talents as well. And we are particularly interested in students who want to engage with their communities and want to give back to their communities. And that could be their local community, it could be their high school, or it could be their place of worship, or other places. It could be national, it could be regional, it could be international. So community kind of writ large here, but we really do look for students who already have some kind of community engagement, or have something they want to do, something that they plan that they think would be important, where they could contribute to their communities. So while we challenge students academically, it's this other part that we think is really important, to have kind of more well-rounded students who maybe students who are very creative. So we also give students lots of opportunities to be creative and to show us their creativity. So being in a university program, students also can support each other because they tend to be somewhat like-minded. Our students tend to be very hard workers. They keep taking all these extra classes, and I keep telling them, no, that's too much. You can't do this. But very motivated, very self-motivated as well. And also, we try to really support them in this, but also try to keep them out of trouble, because I think if they're anything like me, they try to do too much. So, that's one of the things that I think characterizes our students, but is certainly not necessary. I keep trying to tell them, just enjoy your time here and make the most of your 4 years. We also have students that want to graduate in 3 years. And so that's one of the reasons they're taking a lot of courses. And many of our students have entered with a lot of credits. So they took AP courses and other things like that. And that's going to enable them to graduate in 3 years. And we will work with those students if that's what they want to do. However, I do try to caution them that at UC Merced, we offer things that they can't get anywhere else. So we have all kinds of exciting programs that they can take advantage of, like our UCDC program in Washington, D.C., where they can do internships. They can do internships at the White House. They can do all of these amazing things in Washington, D.C. We also have a Sacramento program that's very active. And Emily, you might want to say a few words about that in a few moments when we have our panel, because that program is also very exciting, where you get to meet the state legislatures and you get to go to Sacramento, and you can apply for internships there, and they'll help you out with that. So you can meet people, and they'll train you to be a really good intern, so you're very competitive for those kinds of things. We also have programs with the vernal pools here at UC Merced. We have a big we have a lot of land that has vernal pools on it, and so we have all kinds of things that students can do, where they can be part of teams that give tours. We are also the home of the fairy shrimp in our vernal pools, which is an endangered species, but we're very excited about, because we're helping to save this particular species. So there's lots of opportunities to work with the parks, national parks as well. We have a program at Yosemite where people can go and work at Yosemite for the summer. So we offer so many great opportunities for our students. It makes me want to be a student again, I have to say. You can also get your teaching credential while you're here at the same time that you're getting your undergraduate degree, which is pretty exciting, I think, and something that would be really valuable to have when you graduated. We also offer a community engagement minor, and a number of students have taken this minor who've gone on to really do great things. It's terrific, especially if you're applying for med school or something like this. When you learn all about community engagement and how to work with communities, it's something that med schools are also looking for. So I think we have a lot of opportunities for our Bobcats and for our honors program, and we really help to facilitate some of that and to educate our students about what's available for them. Next slide, please. So we have a number of benefits. So other than just, education, right? We also offer that we have travel scholarships and awards. So if a student elects to go a study abroad program, or if they elect to do a travel, any kind of travel, even if it's to a meeting, maybe they're presenting a paper, or maybe they just want to go to a professional meeting. We have funding for that. If they have a research project they're working on, they can also apply for grants for that from the honors program. We offer the honors advising. Also, students have priority enrollment, so they get to register for courses before the other students, so that they can make sure that their course schedules work and that they're able to get their honors courses. We will be doing our own honors graduations. So there's recognition at graduation. You'll have a stole and we'll have something for your family where everybody can come and celebrate your successes. We offer professional development opportunities. And we also have an honors seminar that we do each year, which I'll talk about. And we offer a living learning community. So you can live here on campus with like-minded scholars, and you would have honor students that you would be living and rooming with on the same floor of your dorm. And there's all kinds of activities and community building that we do through the living learning communities as well. And our living learning community, unlike many of the others, is a 2-year living learning community. You can live 1 year or 2 years, depending on what you prefer, or you can live at home. And as it turns out, about a third of our honor students are from the Central Valley. And so many of them live at home and commute in, which is fine. And they still get a lot of cohort building and community building from the honors program itself. So you don't have to be in the living learning community, and you have a choice as to whether you would like to be in it or not. But I know it's been important for a lot of people who have decided that they want to do it. Oh, thank you. Yes, there's our living learning community. So yes, I think these are important, and I think they're a wonderful experience because especially if it's your first experience away from home, then you really have sort of a natural family there. And that's a very nice thing because sometimes it's really difficult to be away from home, especially for the first time, and everything's new. So we have a couple of students that work with us with our living learning community who help kind of pave the way and arrange all kinds of fun activities and things for that particular community. Next slide. So I'm sure you're interested in what the requirements are, especially students out there, you're going to want to know. So our requirements are not terribly onerous. So you only have to take 5 honors courses during your whole 4 years. So that's essentially 2 years or 2 courses your first year, and then you'll take 1 course a year for the next 3 years. Or if you want to graduate earlier, you may have to take 1 a semester or something like that. But so it's a total of 5 honors courses. 2 are designated general education courses. And if you're not familiar with our general education program, we have both upper and lower division GE courses. So you could get your 2 GE courses out of the way your very first semester, or even in the summer. That would be your Writing 10. We offer a Writing 10 honors, which is required for all students. And we also offer a Spark, which is it's a course that all freshmen take. So as a freshman, everyone takes a Spark course. And these are really fun courses. And they can be either 2 hours or 4 hours, and you can get honors credit because we offer a number of really fun honors Spark courses. So we encourage you to take the honors ones, and that would get 2 of your requirements out of the way your first year. So then you would just need 1 course per year. And of course you can take more if you like to, but this is what is required. And then our honor seminars, these are 1-hour seminars, and I'll talk a little bit about them, and I think it's in the next slide. Yes, and there they are. So these are, the reason we put the honor seminars in there is to allow the students to be in at least 1 course that's all our honor students. And so these are small sections of 30 people, and they're really designed to enhance cohort building, let you get to know each other better, because a lot of the friends that you make in college are going to be your friends for life. And so it'll give you a chance to work together on some interesting problems. We do a lot of little working groups in the seminar, and we also do some self-reflection in the seminar, also to think about where you want to go in your life and what you want to do and who you want to be. And I always say to students, what would you like it to say on your gravestone, right? What do you want people to say about your life? because it's good to start thinking about these things now. I wish I thought a little bit more about them when I was your age, because things might have gone differently, but I'm happy with the way things went. But I like to encourage students to really start thinking about their place in the world. And so that's part of what the seminars do, and building soft skills. So doing things like building leadership skills, team building skills, these kinds of things. We're finding that employers really love to have smart people who are able to do problem solving and that sort of thing, and people who are able, who have learned to learn, which is an important skill in itself. And I'm sure if many of you are interested in the honors program, then you are interested in learning to learn on your own, and you may already be doing that. But those are things that we really, really focus on. So we'll be doing those sorts of activities in the seminars, and they're designed to be fun. So hopefully the students will think it's fun. We're starting our first one tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. But I think these are going to be a lot of fun, actually, and a lot of thinking with your cohort and thinking with your colleagues. And so if you come into the program, your first seminar will be in the fall. And these are only 1 hour, and there's very, very little homework. They're mostly what we do within that hour. So there you go. That's the honor seminars. And next slide, please. Okay. Then the other thing that we offer in addition to honors courses are something we call honors contracts. And I think these are terrific because they're only available for honors students. Regular college students cannot do these. And what they are is that you can take any course that you're in, and you can go to the professor and you can say, would you be willing to do an honors contract with me? And they will figure out how to make that course an honors course for you. So you might be doing some sort of more in-depth research. So say there's a research paper at the end of the course. Maybe there's some particular subject you're interested in that course and you want to do a little more in-depth work within that subject. Maybe you want to write a code. Maybe there's something that you want to do, but you work with your professor to figure out what you're going to do to make that an honors course. And so you register as a regular student, you work with the professor, and at the end of the course, if you fulfilled your honors contract, then it will show as an honors course, even though for everybody else, it won't show as honors, but for you, it will show as an honors course. If you don't fulfill your honors contract, you still get credit for the course and you still get whatever grade you got in the course. So there's nothing detrimental about it. But the other beauty of doing the contracts is that you can go to professors that you particularly like or you particularly admire their work or are interested in what they're doing. And maybe you want to do something similar to what they're doing. This gives you a chance to work with that professor one-on-one and get to know them a little bit better. And in terms of things like when you need some sort of letters of recommendation, either for jobs or grad school or something like this, you will have worked closely with at least one of your professors or more. So you can do as many contracts as you want. If you want to do contracts in every course, you could conceivably do that. So it's a good way to get to know the faculty as well. And plus we're also offering a lot of opportunities to get to know faculty because we have events for the students and the faculty to get to know each other on more of a kind of a social basis. So like last night we had a pizza party and we had all our students there and we had a bunch of faculty came and we played games and got to talk to each other and eat pizza. So it's also a way to get to know faculty on kind of different levels as well. Okay, next slide. So you have two other requirements. One of them is what we call our experiential learning requirement. It can be so many different things. So if you go to study abroad, or if you go to the UCDC program, or if you go to the Sacramento program, or if you work with any of our on-campus organizations, you can get this experiential learning. I think it's pretty easy actually to get it. You can do it through research. So if you're working in a lab Maybe you're working with a faculty member, maybe you're doing a paper. If you can do more than one honors. So you can have the university honors, and you could also have honors in any of the departments that offer honors. Most of the departments require that you do some kind of an honors thesis. So if you're doing that, you could double dip on that. You could count it for both your experiential learning and your honors thesis. So lots of opportunities there. And we have a whole list on our website of things that we suggest, but you can also suggest your own experiential learning. It doesn't have to be something we suggested. And the final requirement is the community mentorship and leadership requirement. And this is more about community engagement. So if there's a lot of ways to get it, you could do Are You Somebody leadership program. If you're in a club or an organization, you're serving as, the president or the vice president, or, one of the leadership roles in a club or organization, or even in your sorority or your fraternity. There's all kinds of different things you could do. There's also opportunities to tutor. We have a big tutoring program, one that goes into the high schools as well, where we also have a program to work with people whose English is their second language. And so, and a lot of these are paid opportunities, by the way, not all of them, but many of them are paid opportunities. So you can get that requirement, and you can also pick up some money as well in some of these. So there you go. So those are all the requirements for the program. That's it. We do have, if you're in the program, we do require that you maintain a 3.1 grade point average. This allows you that if you maybe have one bad semester or something, it's forgiving. So you don't have to have like a 3.8 or a 3.9 to stay in the program. You do have to maintain your 3.1 hour. Okay, thank you. And next. Okay, so if you want to apply for the program, you should have received upon admission to UC Merced, everyone is invited to apply for the program. So please, even if you don't see yourself as an honor student right now, you may be an honor student. And you won't know unless you apply. So I'm going to encourage every one of you to apply for the program. So we do not have a minimum GPA. We were advised that that's probably not a good idea, but I will tell you that the average GPA, and this is just the average, for the high school GPA, not if you took AP classes or something like that, but the average high school GPA for our students right now is 3.9. But that means that there's a spread in there, right? So there we have students that don't have 3.9s. So just as a guideline, letting you know that. If you've taken AP classes and that sort of thing, that's really great. It's a real boon. It'll help you out, especially if you've already received some college credits. You'll come in a little ahead of the game. And we do look to see if you have taken them, but it's not imperative. So if you haven't taken any AP or college level courses, don't let that stop you from applying for the program. If any major can apply. So we don't care what major you're in. I will tell you this, however, the majors that are not as impacted much, so some of the smaller majors, we tend to admit a lot of their students because they don't have very many students, and we're trying to spread, we have to spread the honor students throughout the 3 schools. So we'll take, we have some from engineering, we have some from natural sciences, and we have some from social sciences, humanities, and arts. And we have to do this because we don't want any one program to have all the honor students. We really want to spread it around. So if you're from a major that doesn't have many students or many, if it's what we call an unimpacted major, I'll give you an example. My own department is anthropology. We had 4 people apply from anthropology last year. We admitted all 4 of them. But they all went somewhere else, which was too bad because we really want to have those students. So I would really encourage you, if you're in a smaller major, do apply for the program. You have a very, very good chance of being admitted because of that. The more highly impacted majors are more competitive. because we can't just admit all computer science students or something like that. You know, right? It would burden the faculty too much. It would burden the department too much. So we do spread this around. So even though we will rank students based on their applications, we also have to look at what majors they're in. So there, you know, there's lots of benefits to the program. I hope you think about applying. The application itself has 3 questions that you need to answer. The responses should be at least 300 words or less. So I'll just give you this advice, that if you're not somebody who likes to write or likes to just give one-word answers, it's not a good idea. Try to write at least 75 words or so, or, you know, at least enough so that we get a good feel for what you're trying to say. Because if you write too short of an answer, I think the committee looks at that and goes, they could have written up to 150 words and they only gave us 2 sentences or something. So really try to answer the questions as thoroughly as you possibly can. And one thing I tell all my students is, whenever you have something like this, read the question really well and make sure that you answer all parts of that question, because we do have some 2-part questions. So make sure you answer both parts and do it as thoroughly as you can within your 150 words. Also, please pay attention to your grammar and to your spelling. You can write your answer in Word. You can do a grammar check on it. You can run it through Grammarly. You can have other people look at it for you to make sure that your grammar is looking good, your spelling, and that you have a clarity. So getting help is not cheating. Having somebody writing for it, you writing it for you, or going to ChatGPT, that's cheating. But if you actually, actually get some help and make sure that you have a good, concise answer, that's going to really help you a lot. So you're going to have your 3 questions, and then there's the creative product. So I get a lot of questions about what the creative product is. Well, it can be almost anything, but it has to be something tangible that you can make a link. So you'll make a link to your product. So what would it be? Well, I can tell you about some of the creative products we've got. We have students who were in robotics clubs that sent us videos of what their robot did that they made. We've had students draw pictures. We've had students, I had one student that was a concert violinist, and she sent a video of her playing the violin. Not everybody's a concert violinist. We also have a student who sent us a little art project that she'd done in high school. It was a little clay project. It was great. And so it can be anything. It could be a map if you're a map maker, or if you have written a paper you're particularly proud of, or a poem, or it can be pretty much anything, as long as you created it yourself. Another question I get is, if we write code, can we enter that? Yes, if it's creative and you did it yourself, you can enter code. I would very strongly advise you against using AI for any of this. It's one of the things we're really, really discouraging, because we want to see something about you. The other thing about your creative product that's really important is that it's something that means something to you. So, for instance, we had a student last year who sent a picture of her father because he meant a lot to her, and she wanted to talk about her relationship with her father. That was great. But the problem was, she never said that she took the photograph. So we had a question. Did she take this photograph? So part of the thing about the creative product is that it needs to be, if it's a photograph, it needs to be one you took, not just one you like. Or if it's a painting, it needs to be a painting you made, not just one that you particularly like. So there's the product itself, but there's also, we give you the opportunity to reflect on your creative product and why it's meaningful to you and how it represents you and your values. So that's the other challenge of the creative product, is what does that mean to you? And how is this an expression of you and yourself and your values? So it's a tall order in a sense, but maybe also easy. So let me give you an example. If this was me and I was filling this out, I have a drawing that I used for a TED Talk I did. And it was a drawing I did when I was 6 years old. My parents had taken me to a cave, And I was so excited about it. I wanted them to take me to another cave. So I started doing drawings of caves to give them a hint that I want to go to another cave. And so it's a drawing of a cave with bats and stalactites and stuff that I made when I was 6. I would probably enter that as my creative product because later on, I went on to become a cave archaeologist and I work in caves and I study caves. So that ended up having a huge meaning in my life. So that would be what I would do. So it doesn't have to be something that you just created. It could be also something that you might not have done recently. It could be something that you did as a kid or something, just make sure it's something that's meaningful to you. So the QR code there goes to our application. So hopefully you've already taken a picture of it and you're already starting your application. And you can visit our website. So, and I would encourage you to do so because a lot of times in people's applications, when they do the questions, one of our questions really is geared towards, did you really look at the program? Do you really know what you're getting into? Do you understand the program and what the requirements are of the program? So it's a good thing to look at the website first and to really kind of understand the program and kind of things we're doing and what opportunities are available for you. So I would definitely look it over before you do your application. So that would be my other advice to you. So there you go. You got advice nobody else got because you showed up for the seminar. So I would like to thank you so much for coming today and for learning about our program. And I really hope that you all apply. Okay, thank you so much. Yay. And I think we're going to open this up for questions. So if people have questions or if they have questions for our student Emily, especially about her experience in the program, and maybe Emily, maybe you'd like to kick this off with talking about like what you've gotten out of the program so far, your first semester.
Of course, yeah. I would like to say, first of all, welcome if you got admitted, and if you haven't yet, I hope that you do, and I see you on campus. Um, I'd like to say that being part of the honors program has probably been like the best decision I made, especially applying to UC Merced. The reason is because UC Merced is a very close-knit community, and there's a lot of opportunities for you to stand out, and more so if you're in the honors program. Speaking from experience, I've been able to talk to a lot of my professors, and one example that really kind of I think moved me. One of the chair of my department, Courtney Monroe, and her husband took me and another poli-sci student out to lunch. And actually, I got the opportunity to meet Congressman Adam Gray because he has a program here at UC Merced. And that was such a moving and like surreal moment to be like, this person goes to the White House, he does, congressman things, and it's such a moving experience, especially being in the honors program that gave me this very unique opportunity. Being in the honors program also helped me make friends, find a community. I think going into university, I was really scared that I wasn't going to know anybody, but being part of the honors program has allowed me to meet a lot of different people from a lot of different places, and they're all really nice, and we have a great community. So I do hope that you consider applying, and I can't wait to meet all of you guys.
So I'm seeing a lot of questions in the chat. Claudia says, how can we schedule a private meeting? If you write our email, which is right here, honors@ucmerced.edu, we will set something up where we're happy to answer questions or talk to you. Let's see. Let me go back to the beginning because there's a lot of questions. Okay, one is, what honors program specifically can a mechanical engineering major have access to, provided they accept and get into the honors program? I'm not sure what the question is. We have a number of mechanical engineers. I think a lot, actually. I think we have about 10. So out of our 60. So you would have a lot of friends in the program in mechanical engineering. there's a Spark course, so you could take the engineering Spark course your first semester. And there's also, they're developing honors courses right now, upper division courses for mechanical engineers especially. You could also get some of your coursework done through the contracts, so that would also be an opportunity for you. So I would say that's a good major. Okay, the slides say 150 words or less. Yes, the application is 150 words. Yes, and we're encouraging people to write the whole 150 words. The creative product. Can I talk about a product that I was trying to market through the DECA club in my school? Yes, of course. I actually didn't make the product, but I presented the idea. I would say that it would probably be better to present something that you actually made, unless the presentation is the creative product. So we could talk to you about that if you want us to send you an email. Can it be a website? Sure. How can we schedule a private meeting? I was part of an honors program. Oops. This keeps bouncing around. I was part of an honors program and TAP while going to high school. I took 11 courses. Wow. Max, that's a lot. Yeah, I don't know what you have in there that's transferable, but you could get advising, or you could get your high school counselor to say what's transferable. That's a lot of courses. Wow. Okay, no problem. That's terrific. You'd come in ahead of the game. What is the timeline to apply for the honors once admitted? Good question, because I meant to mention this and I did not. Our priority applications are due February 2nd. I would say try to get your application in by February 2nd if you can. Now, if you can't, it doesn't mean we won't consider you. But the problem is that if we fill up with students, we're going to start reviewing. And if we fill up, by mid-February or something, then you have less of a chance. You could get put on a wait list. We do have a wait list, by the way, because there's a certain amount of students that apply and then decide to go somewhere else or do something else. So just because you don't get in the first round doesn't mean you will not be able to get into the program. But I would definitely try to get that in by February 2nd if you can at all. And I don't think it's that difficult an application. I think you should be able to do it. Please clarify if the answers to the application prompts are limited to 300 words as advised or on the talk. I'm sorry if I said 300. I didn't mean to. It's 150 words. Yeah, it's 150 words max. So I think it won't let you write more than that. For the special project, I wrote a short story. Short stories are great. Of course, we love them. The word limit, there is not a word limit for the creative product. I will say that if somebody actually gave us a book last year that they'd written, and so we read part of it. So, I mean, just something reasonable. Short story, of course, we would love to read your short story. It sounds great. Can it be a website about how we think we can improve things? Yes, and I'm particularly impressed that you want to improve things. Is the tuition fees more expensive, or what are the additional expenses? No additional expenses. Not that I know of. There's no cost to being in the program. And we don't offer any scholarships. I have to tell you, I hate that, but we're working on it, but we cannot offer any honor scholarships right now, particularly for honor students. But we do have money once you're here to help you out with things like study abroad or research that you're doing, something like that. How many honors program seats are there for the first year students? There'll be 100 this year. And there was 60 last year. So the whole cohort will be, we're admitting a few students who are already here. So it'll be 180 students altogether in the program next year. Is the workload in the honors program more intense, or is the curriculum more challenging? That's a really good question, and I really appreciate it. We have discussed this at length with our faculty, and our faculty and we all feel that it shouldn't be a higher workload. It should just be more intense. So in other words, if there's a paper that you're going to do right in class, and say you have a contract, you don't have to necessarily do a bigger paper, but you might do more research, right? And that goes into it. So part of it is we don't want to put an extra workload on our honor students. So yeah. And it says Emily Acosta would like to answer this question. Would you like to answer that question? So far, what's your experience, Emily?
Hello, yeah, actually I saw that question and I thought, why not give you guys a little insight? I've been working currently with one of my professors to do an honors contract. I know Holly went over it a little bit. Basically, I got together with my professor and I let him know that I was interested in making a course that I was already taking into an honors course. And it's there, the faculty are very supportive. He was immediately very happy to work with me, and ultimately right now we've been talking about possible projects. The workload, I think it's reasonable. I think that it's just a little, you just have to be ready for a little challenge, and you also have to remember that the faculty are here to support you. So if at any point you feel like it's too much, you can always reach out. And the work, I feel personally that the workload isn't, unbearable. I think it's fun, especially because the faculty are willing to work with you. And so when you're taking an honors course, make sure that it's in a course that you enjoy, something you like, because ultimately that's what we want here. And the honors program, that you have like a little incentive to dig a little deeper into any subject or field that you're interested in. Yeah, I think, it's manageable. You just have to be on top of it. Don't procrastinate, and you should be fine. Yeah.
Thank you, Emily, so much for sharing your perspective too. We also want to ask, so what's your life being a student too at UC Merced? What do you do for fun? Do you mainly do social things with other honors college friends? Is there a large community within the honors program? What's the main thing that you like to do for fun?
Of course. So I actually saw this question too. For fun, like I said, I met a lot of people in the honors program. So we've been out to watch movies. We recently went to watch Wicked because once you wait a couple months, the theater is empty. And there's also a lot of clubs and organizations on campus, and it's a lot more fun when you have this community with the honors program. So you meet these people, and then together you guys can go out to clubs and organizations. I know that some of my peers in the honors program, they've been into like the honors society, the business society, not the honors, the business society. There's some opportunities with like Google and internships. So there's a lot of things to do. For fun, we do like to, go out, go eat and now it's very, basic little things. There's also a Batman club, very fun. If you like any, little sports here and there, then there's also those things. Yeah, there's a couple things to do here. So I hope that that answers some of your question. For the broader community, I think you find your people. It might take you, a week or two, but you find your people, and there is a beautiful sense of community here that I don't want to speak for other universities, but I feel like ours is very beautiful and very nice.
Thank you so much, Emily, for sharing all about the fun things that you do on and off campus. We also want to ask, what is your creative project like? Is there anything that you would like to share? Is it have to be relative to your major?
Of course. Yeah. My creative project, I'm gonna be completely honest. Originally, when I was applying to all the universities, I originally intended to apply to an art school. So I applied to like USC, UCLA, all the film schools, because that's, something that I really enjoy. And so for the other universities, they asked me to make a short film, right? That's part of the application for film school. And so I made a short film. It's about 5 minutes long. It's it's a video about my small town where I grew up in Delhi. You can actually find it on Instagram. I worked in partnership with one of my teachers in high school. He had a friend, and so we just kind of went around town one Saturday and we walked around, interviewed some people. It was completely fun. It was very nice to come together as a community where I grew up and be able to, shed a little light in of the town that I grew up in and show it to these schools. It doesn't have to be, your creative project does not have to be related to your major. And I want to emphasize that a lot because I think people get stuck on the idea of, oh, like I'm a poli-sci major, like everything I do has to be, politics and government agencies. No, there's so many other things that you can do. And I think that's just the beauty of the university and all the people. You get to, figure things out. I saw other creative projects. I know somebody did like a robotics thing, coding. Holly mentioned them, and sometimes they just don't have to be related. You have fun with it. That's kind of what I want to get to. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. Don't make it something daunting. Have fun. This is a one-time thing, and we want to get to know you guys. So make sure that it's unique and individual to you.
Thank you so much, Emily, for sharing your perspective too. We have another question that just came in for Professor Holly. And the question is, how many seats are going to be for the upcoming class for the honors program?
We'll be admitting 100 incoming freshmen this year. So
100 freshmen. Well, that's a huge lot. So there's going to be a whole lot of extra Bobcats excited to join in on the honors program. So exciting. If any of you have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat. We have a few more minutes until the end of our webinar here tonight. Let's see.
I think we're all typing as fast as we can here to try to answer all the questions.
Can I add something too? I know I've been talking a lot.
Of course. Always welcome to come in.
I did see some parents that were talking about opportunities for their students, especially I've been talking a lot about political science because that is my major, but I have one of my best friends is in the pre-med program where they're automatically getting into the med school here at UC Merced. And they have a lot of opportunities too. It's not just government agencies. I know that the university has different connections. And for example, I think they have connections with like the Gallo. And I think that, that's not something you should worry about. There's a lot of opportunities. And this university, since there's few like people compared to like the bigger schools, you're like a lot more likely to get these opportunities. So I think that's a great thing here at the university. And I hope, that brings a little bit more clarity to that.
That is so exciting. Thank you so much, Emily, for sharing your friends' perspectives on all of our different programs here too. We also have another question here for any of our professional staff on board here with our honors program here tonight. Can you please clarify what's the difference between being enrolled in the university honors program versus enrolling in honors classes?
Wait, could you ask that again? Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
I'm answering questions on email. Okay.
No worries. We wanted to ask what was the difference between the university honors program versus taking the honors courses.
Okay. So if you actually our honors courses sometimes have extra seats in them. And so we fill those with non-honors program students who want a challenge of having an honors course on their transcript. So if you take honors courses, you can have it show on your transcript as honors, which really looks good for all kinds of applications for things. But if you're in the honors program, you're going to be able to show that you completed the entire program. So it's not just a few honors courses, because there's a lot to be said when you say you're an honor student. It means more than you just have good grades. It also means that, you know, you're engaged and that you're honest and that you're reliable. And there's all these things that go with being an honor student. You know, you're the person that other students can look up to. You're the model. We try to model good behavior for other students and good study practices and how to behave in class, and you know that you're going to be engaged. And so when people see that on your transcript, or when you're applying for a job and you say, yes, I graduated from an honors program, I was an honor student, it actually has meaning beyond just having a high grade.
Perfect. So nice to hear. Another question that we do have here is, can transfer students join the honors program?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. We're not taking transfers this year. And there's a reason for this. It's because we're still developing honors courses, and we haven't developed enough upper division courses to be able to take transfers, but we will be taking them next year. I'm sorry.
That's so exciting to hear. Next year, we'll have some more growth within our honors program here at UC Merced. And now we have some time. I wanted to also see, what tips do you all have here for our students joining tonight for coming into applying for the honors program and being a Bobcat here at UC Merced? So if anyone has any tips, please feel free to share.
Emily, you got any tips?
For the application process, I would say just be yourself. Like I said, have fun. Please don't, you know, the hardest thing for people when they're looking at admissions is looking at this ChatGPT essay. Please don't do that. You know, have fun with your creative piece. This is not all applications have this creative freedom. So, you know, take that to your advantage. And, you know, I say just be yourself, have fun, and I hope to see you.
Yeah, and I give a little insight into making sure that you read the question really well and answer all the different parts. Sunny, you got anything?
Yes, absolutely. I wanted to jump in on the creative product aspect. So when I am getting the applications ready for the committee review, I will say that probably one of the best parts and probably most favorite parts is the creative product, because the faculty members and the committee members just love to see, they can see your academics and how well you're doing in school, but they want to see the other side of the student too and have like a well-rounded experience. And so kind of my advice is have fun with it. Think about like, what would I like to show for my application, and show off my creative side too. And like I said earlier, if you have any questions, feel free to email us. We are always checking our email and our communication, making sure that you have the necessary resources in order to succeed. And yeah, looking forward to it.
Fantastic job, everybody. This has been so much fun. I always love these virtual events and all of these interesting topics. Honors program, thank you all so much for joining us, all of our content experts, and of course, Emily, our current Bobcat. Like we always say, exactly, give her props. Like we always say, the students bring everything for our audience, because who else can share that story of a current Bobcat more so than someone who is currently a Bobcat? So we really appreciate you, Emily. And of course, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for our great audience who joined us this evening. We had such a good turnout. Make sure that you guys do open up the chat box so that you can go ahead and start clicking on a bunch of those links. I'm about to send another one right now to you. So go ahead and start clicking on those. We just want to remind you of those events that we talked about early on, as well as campus tours. So the campus tours link is there towards the top. And if someone behind the scenes can drop another time for that one. But we also have the admissions receptions. We love to call that the admissions roadshow. We are coming to a region near you, so make sure that you do click on that link. Take a look, the North Valley, the South Valley, the Central Valley, we're pretty much hitting everywhere. Los Angeles, the San Bernardino area, so make sure you hop over and find a city near you where we will be visiting. One is going to be in March, and there are a couple of others in April. And of course, the biggest event of the spring is Bobcat Day. We would love to see each and every one of you there. It is a fantastic opportunity for you to take full advantage of getting a campus tour of our campus, seeing it in all of its liveliness, because the campus is just filled that day with performances, tabling for clubs and organizations, folks like the honors program staff that you've seen here tonight. We will have everyone there represented. Like I said, clubs and orgs, performances with our karate clubs, our dance groups, the cheer team. We have musicians there that day. I mean, really, it's anything that you could possibly think of that you see on our website. And in fact, on the Bobcat Day website, we do actually have an agenda that will be fully detailed between now and then. So you can actually see what the breakdown of the day is like. You will also have a chance to meet with faculty, professors. You'll get to sit through some lectures and presentations regarding each of our schools. So really, that is the best day to come to our campus. It is a wonderful event. You will really get that Bobcat vibe and that feeling of being part of our family, because that really is what we strive to offer here at UC Merced. Like I said, those links are over in the chat box. We have many more virtual events coming up, as well as those in-person events that you'll find on the events page. So hop on over, get yourself registered, and of course, tune back in for one of the on-demand instant replays that you will find there and linked just a day or two after we do these live broadcasts. Thank you so much to all of our presenters tonight. Professor Moyes, thank you so much for joining us on screen, doing an excellent job sharing that passion with all of us. Now I want to join the honors program. So thank you again, everyone.
Ricky,
yeah.
What somebody in the chat said, what's our school spirit like?
Well, there you go. I think we all have it here, right? It is the Bobcat spirit, blue and gold. We would love to have you here to meet all of you in person. It's so much more fun to see us outside of the little box on the computer screen, right? So again, hop on over to the events page, get registered, and just, come and meet us in person. Thank you once again for joining us. My name is Ricky Hill, your e-recruiter. I will see you back here next time. We even have a couple more webinars coming up next week, so make sure that you hop on and join us for those. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a fantastic night.